send you something else before that? You can talk about the Ryan all the way. If you go up, there's a Ryan Garcia.
We're live
Uh,
already, brother. Just so you
oh,
know. Haha.
all right, all right.
So, shout out to everyone watching us. You already know what it is. Casual Experts Podcast. Right here, about to give you guys this boxing news. What's up with you, Mike? How's your weekend been, sir?
It's good. It's good. Shoot, just started the backyard, so we're working on that, and there's a lot of fight. There was a lot of fights this weekend too.
What was your favorite fight that you seen this week?
For me, I'm really big on Richard Torres. He's
Mm,
like coming from the Olympic silver medalist heavyweight. I thought it was a good test for him this weekend. It was fighting a way bigger opponent, longer reach. Um, he he pulled it out. It was a tough fight for it was a tough fight, but he pulled it out. I don't know. It was just how do I say this?
And that was the main card on the one that had all the RGBA fighters, right? Lindolfo.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the main event.
unfortunately, I was being handcuffed during that fight. I wasn't able
Yeah.
to watch Lindolfo but I saw Chop. So
Chop.
how did the Torres fight go? Because I completely missed that straight up.
Not well. It was a good fight. It was just a lot of clinching just because of the reach. He's trying to close the distance and get in there, and that's where he's good at. That's where Torres is good at. He's good in the pocket. He's good in the clinch. So just taking away that reach that he has. So it was a good fight though. They took a point away from him just because the other guy. I forget the other guy's name. I can't pronounce it. That's why. That's why I forget it. Names that I can't pronounce, I usually forget them pretty easily.
That's scandalous. So what about the Lindolfo versus Elvis fight? What do you think about that? Did you catch that fight?
I did. I was going back and forth because there was the Tim Zhu card and then there was a UFC card. So like the earlier fights, I watched them. I just didn't watch like the entire fights just because I was going back and forth to like three different fights.
My bad. I'm looking at the chat. Someone said there was a garbage ass fight, but he deleted his comment. Spence. Oh, someone landslide got. Oh, the Streamlabs bot is on that fool's head. My bad, G. Um, yeah. I mean, the homie Elvis is from Wildcard, and obviously Lindolfo's from RGBA, so they're
Yeah.
both they're both cool. But yeah. So then, do you know the obviously Lindolfo took that
Yes.
he took that W. So I mean, there's that. But what happened on the Tszyu card? Is it Tszyu?
The Zhu card.
Tim Sue.
Tim Zhu. That's how people pronounce it, right? Zhu, like ZOO, Zhu.
Whatever.
Tim Zhu.
Let me pull up the Tim Tszyu stuff real quick. Did I still call him Tszyu?
Yeah,
Ba-
that's his nickname. That's it feels from the streets from where we were from. That's what it'd be his name would. His name would be Tizu.
Tszyu?
Eh, Yeah, that
Well,
was about to put the Tizu on you.
so I'm not looking at what I'm looking at right now is basically Keith Thurman about to call him out. Keith Thurman calls out Tim
Yeah,
Zoo after stoppage win over Joey Spencer. I'm gonna slide through the slides real quick. Let's hear what Mr. Thurman has to say about it.
let's do it.
I see you got through with that appetizer. I got through with mine. I got him out in 3, you got him out in 4. I don't know about you, boy, but I'm still hungry. Send the contract. I'll sign it by tonight. I promise you, I'll come to Australia and give you a good fight. Let's go. Congrats.
I know that on this program, the way we have it, that you're not necessarily able to see everything I see or hear it the way I hear it. But what do you think?
No, but I seen the clip. I can kind of hear it, but I seen the clip. No, it's just because they were originally scheduled to fight before that. So Tim Zhu and Thurman were originally scheduled to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Zhu had to pull out just because of like the fight before that, the injury. Um, and then so Keith Thurman waited, and then he ended up fighting uh, the other dude, Brock or whatever his name was. So yeah, he just Tim Zhu won. He calling him out. It was a good performance by Tim Zhu. The opponent Spencer he fought, not really familiar with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Tszyu, he looked good. It was a stoppage. They threw in the towel. He was just Spence. Tszyu was just putting it on him, combinations, throwing a lot of combinations, and he hurt him a little bit. So they just it's just too much. So they stopped the fight. Now Keith Thurman and Tszyu, that should be a good fight. Thurman looked really good in his last fight, but you're going off two people that fought really relatively like not big names. So you take that as you take it. Both guys are boxers, so they're in the ring, so
Yeah.
they have skill. They have skill, but it's just not necessarily somebody. I don't know. Trying to be politically correct right now.
So are you
Like,
talking about the competitors, or are you talking about Tszyu and Thurman themselves?
no, I'm talking about the competitors they fought.
The fool that. Okay, so I didn't see the Tszyu fight at all, right? But the
Yeah.
Thurman fight I did see, and I mean, I guess he's a pushover compared to Thurman, right? But Thurman hasn't been in the ring for a long time, so for him to come back and dominate like that was definitely nasty work, to say the very least.
Yeah, he hasn't fought in like 3 years, so for Thurman to come back,
Beat the
'cause
hell
you-
out of
you know,
that fool.
yeah, you hear about the ring. He always talks about ring rust. If you're not in the ring, your timing, all that takes a lot of time to get back. But for Thurman to come back and so a young fighter, that you know, that has a good record, come out and put it on him like that, yeah. And then Tszyu, same thing. You're coming back. There was a lot of talk around that's the Tszyu fight just because of what happened to him in the Fedora fight, and then the fight after that. Of he got beat up. He got his ass beat. And so coming back off those fights, like those losses like that, there's always that question, what type of fighter you're going to be.
Of course.
How much did it take out of you in the ring? The mental standpoint of it, are you going to be like mentally in this? Or are you always going to think about getting hurt again? Just the beating, it takes a lot. It takes a lot out of you as a fighter. So coming back, and both of these guys, Keith Thurman coming off that long layoff, Tszyu coming off the losses like that, it makes sense. Let's go ahead and make that matchup again, because they were originally scheduled to fight. So let's do it. And Keith Thurman, he's gonna sell that fight. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna talk his talk, and he's gonna sell the shit out of that fight. So it's interesting.
I think I don't know. Thurman's aging, right? So is Tszyu though. Because I remember when Tszyu fought. I remember when Virgil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu were supposed to fight, and they didn't. Yeah. And I saw Virgil's fight, obviously, but then we saw Tim Tszyu's fight, and that fool didn't win the way he was supposed to win. So it was like crazy, you know what I mean? So for Thurman to be calling this fool out now, I feel like, although Tim Tszyu got that fool out of there in the fourth, I feel like Thurman knows that fool's highly, I don't want to say vulnerable, but just highly susceptible to getting rocked, to getting his shit rocked.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and
Thurman was on that. That fool didn't wait any minutes.
No.
He saw the fight and he went outside to his view and said, "Yo, what's good? Send that shit, G."
Yeah, let's run it. Well, because Tim Tszyu, doesn't have the best footwork out there, and if you watch the last fight, Keith Thurman's last fight, he's still pretty fast. He's still got some speed. He's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still got, and he moves around a lot. So that's somewhere where Keith Thurman can take over the fight.
Yeah.
His footwork, his movement, his speed. So and Tszyu is somebody that comes in, he just goes straight forward. He's that pressure type of fighter. And Keith Thurman's also mentioned, he said that it's a little controversy, but he's also said that no Mexican fighter has ever beat him.
There he goes with that stupid shit.
Yeah, the Mexican style. No Mexican style fighter has ever beat me. So he's saying that Tim Tszyu has that Mexican style. That pressure type, going forward, pressure, throwing power punches. So I don't know. How do you feel about that comment?
I feel like fucking Thurman is a wild guy. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, aside from that comment, I mean, it is what it is. If no pressure fighters beat him, then the facts are the facts. Shout out to the homies in the chat. We got the homie Adrian. We got Blurred. We got the homie Large from Cam. What up? We got the Dino boy. Landslide. I'd like to hear Landslide's opinion on on who he thinks would win out of Thurman or Tim Tszyu. We'll wait for that fool to hear this remark and hopefully respond to it. Chat, what do you fools think? Who's gonna win out of the two of those guys? I think Thurman is gonna take that victory, but then Thurman's gonna set himself up for a bigger fight, and then he's gonna probably end up getting his shit rocked. Like I don't see Keith Thurman beating a Virgil Ortiz.
No, there's no way.
Respectfully, and I'm a Thurman fan, kinda.
Yeah, no, I like Thurman. I like I just like him overall. Like
For sure.
in his peak, in his prime, that
Oh,
fool
that's
was
a bad
monster.
dude. Yeah.
Dude, he's a bad. And then the way he sells the fights, his talk, it's gonna be interesting.
Landslide said Tim Tszyu is winning that. Southpaw Barber, what do you think? Tim Tszyu or Keith one-time Thurman? I think it's Keith's final payday. Damn. Maybe we're out of pocket. Maybe we're just fans of fucking Thurman that much. Or no. Maybe we're just casuals. Thurman is a good watch for upcoming boxers. He's not one time no more. Damn.
I don't know where I saw it, but it was somebody. I think somebody calling out Thurman or something like that. But they said they called him one more time. So let's get in the ring for Keith one more time, Thurman, and that's cool. The game.
That's cool. Shout out to the homie Blurred. He also says low key Tim Tszyu is gonna. Timmy stops Zoo. I got 100 on it. Damn.
Jeez.
Damn.
Okay.
Right there, guys that are actually watching this. Obviously, you fools fuck with boxing a little bit. The Streamlabs bot just posted the YouTube link for our actual channel. I'm just hosting all of this shit on there until that gets picked up a little bit. So if you fools could go subscribe over there, we're gonna be dropping content over there as well. Blah blah blah. Y'all think Thurman's shoulder's still bugging? What do you think? My shoulder's bugging for sure.
What do you think? Shot.
What do you think? You think it's? I don't know. Fool. I think he looked good.
I think he looked good. I think he looked good. It just like I mentioned, the competition. Like we'll see when the competition rises, we'll see. But it's just two different styles. We got a younger and an older fighter. Tim Tszyu's not that young, but he is younger. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I want to see the fight. I was in this last fight we had talked about it when Keith Thurman's last fight with was it Brock? I think his name is. We had talked about it. I said, this is a fight that's going to show if Thurman still got it or this is his last hurrah. Like if he can't get past this fight, if he can't stop him, get past it, then he's done. But he stopped him. He looked good.
Hold on real quick. Adrian, if you're still here, Perro, Ali will never talk back to you, Adrian. Right here, I recognize you, Perro. Fuck with me. Nah, he said ES News just went live. Fucking Ali, fucking bastard. Nah. Nah, I feel it. What do you think about on the cover of this? You know, we'll get to the cover story after. What else do we have here? We got Shakur Stevenson. Stevenson. Let me pull
and
this
De La Hoya
up. Bam.
going at it.
Yeah, we got Shakur Stevenson and De La Hoya going at it. Shakur Stevenson said, "Is that what they told you?" Oh, wait. After all the shit talking, Shakur Stevenson pulls out of the Zepeda fight. This fool Shakur Stevenson said, "Is that what they told you? Turkey promised me a number, and now he's going way back on that number he promised me. And he's sending his towel boys to run me the info instead of telling me straight up what he's trying to do. I don't bow down to nobody, Mr. De La Hoya. Now let's negotiate." Damn, that's fire, fool.
No, it's a fire comeback.
And then he said, "Crazy thing is, crazy thing is, on my soul, I will cook that dude so badly. He's a mismatch. I want this fight so bad that these dudes want to take advantage of me by giving me way less than I got for Padley, just because they know how bad I want it. Oh yeah, and I'm not done negotiating because one thing about it, I'm the champ. So whether the fight gets done with these people or not, I'm stepping on dude. But that fight will be made next." And then someone else said, Hassan Wells said, Shakur Stevenson said that he will 100% be fighting William Zepeda next. But the only question is, will it be with Turkey Al-Saik or because he's not giving him the offer he promised? He said, "All facts. Oscar De La Hoya, keep your line open. Let's make this fight happen." I don't know, fool.
Even his talking puts me to sleep, or his writing.
Damn.
Even the writing puts me to sleep. Come on, man.
Dang. Stevenson low key afraid to fight Zepeda. Fucking Mr. Edward Garcia said, Shakur so boring. Hey, you guys are tripping. I've seen that fool. Okay, so look.
Come on.
Okay, so look.
I,
Listen.
hold on.
Go ahead.
Context for everybody out there. I know where he's gonna go right now, and that's because this fool is Floyd Mayweather is like biggest fan. So going into the rant right now, Eyekon is Floyd Mayweather's one of Floyd Mayweather's biggest fans. So now you can go. Now you go into your Shakur.
So look, I've never really watched Shakur Stevenson fight, but the two fights that I have watched recently, because everyone said he was a snooze fest, right? So finally one day my sons were like, I want to watch boxing. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I put on a Shakur Stevenson fight. And he's like Floyd, but a slightly quicker version. That's not boring. He's just a defensive master. Just
he does it. Yeah, but it's
Zepeda versus Shakur.
okay.
Zepeda barely won that first. I mean, obviously they had the rematch, and then whatever happened, right? But
he dropped him.
I mean, he did. I mean, I watched. That don't matter. Yeah. I am too, and I'm from Vegas. Haha.
No. All right. So the thing that the big difference, yeah, you say that we could say that Shakur is like a defensive guy. He's like Floyd Mayweather but faster. But Floyd Mayweather has knockouts, and Floyd Mayweather has put people to sleep, right? Before the hand issues and all that stuff. So, okay, in that sense, no, because Shakur is not knocking fools out. He's not putting people to sleep. So when you go into a fight, you're not scared of the knockout. You're in the things when you go into a Shakur fight, your endurance needs to be up. You can't be a stationary fighter. You can't be a pressure fighter. You have to be able to learn you have to know how to cut off the ring, and you have to know how to have movement as well, because he's coming in, and when he steps out, when he hits you with the jab and steps out, it's not like a normal person stepping out. He doesn't. It's not like his one step is like two steps.
I see it. He's stepping out. I feel it.
Yeah, and that's how fast he is. Mm-hmm. So with him, you just got to know how to cut off the ring. You got to have movement, and you can't just stay there, because if you stay there, he's gonna pick you apart. He's fast like that. We can talk shit all day about Shakur Stevenson, how boring he is because the way he moves and he runs around a lot, he moves around a lot, but that fool. Technically, that he's a bad dude. Like, he knows how to fight. Like, he goes in there, he knows how to box. I'll say, not fight. He knows how to box. He knows how to use the rules to his advantage, and he knows how to box, and he knows how to move. So
I respect it.
How do you see that fight going, though? How do you see that? How do you see that fight going, Zepeda and?
I think Shakur Stevenson's gonna counter Zepeda to death. Respectfully,
I feel it.
He's gonna Philly clam up, big pause. And he's just going to counter him. And who knows? But like you just said right now, I was going to say, who knows what could happen with those counters. He might really put it on him. But I'm not exactly sure what Shakur's knockout ratio is. How many knockouts does he have? Do you know?
I think around like 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there.
Out of how many fights?
20-something. So it's under 50%.
Oh, under 50.
It's under 50%.
Well, it's safe to say then he's not going to put Zepeda down then, because Zepeda clearly has a chin, because he was taking some vicious ass punches this past however long ago it was. It wasn't this week, or was it last week? It was last week, huh?
Last week.
Not this week that just passed, but the week before. Yeah. No, yeah, and he was taking some nasty punches. Like some take one to give one type shit, which is not
he was.
So yeah, I don't know.
It's a fun fight, though.
No, yeah, for sure. Because Zepeda's for sure gonna charge forward, because that's just what that fool does. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And Stevenson, like you said, is just gonna go back, but he's righteous on his back foot, so it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying?
That fool's fast, dude. Like, he's
super fast.
It's crazy how fast he is.
I don't know. Who knows? To beat the champ, you got to beat him convincingly. So I don't know. See how that goes. What about anything else you got to say about anything else you got to say about Shakur Stevenson and Mr. Zepeda?
No,
He said no. I'm over it.
no, no.
Let's get out of here real quick. And lastly, hold on real quick. Let me pull this up a different way because all my DMs were showing all sick right now. Let's see right here. Where is this shit? Right now, what we're about to talk about is Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, which is crazy.
That's just wild.
Hold on though. Let me find the clip on IG real quick.
If that shit even comes to fruition,
What if it does though? Too fire. Did I go too low? What the hell? I can't find this shit. Hold on one second. First of all, what do you think about Jake Paul as a fighter himself? Just period.
period, he has came a long way. That's what I honestly feel like he has skill. He has the big thing with him is he has the power. Like he has knockout power. So it doesn't matter who he fights or when he fights. Once he steps in the ring with you, there's going to be that chance of you can get clipped, you can get touched. Boxing is a game of inches, right? So if you give him that inch or he's able to touch you, like there's that chance he can put you out. He has that type of power. So it doesn't matter who he's going up against. And yeah, they say, oh, the skill, this and Joshua, his chin is suspect now. He got knocked out in his last fight against when he fought at Dubois.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hurt in previous fights. He's been hurt, rocked. So Jake Paul does have that type of power, but also at the same time, Francis Ngannou had that type of power too, right? And we see what happened in that fight. So, I would watch it. And then Jake Paul has that type of that aura around him right now. He has that Floyd Mayweather aura where people are tuning in to watch him lose.
Type shit.
Yeah, so that fight's gonna be. If that fight happens, that's a big ass fight, especially if he fights out over there across the pond.
Your battery just went down, brother.
I know, but I'm plugged in.
Change the battery pack. You only got that one battery?
Yeah, I only have that one.
This fool Mike Theory's down for the count, perros.
You can hear me though?
I can hear you, playa.
Let's see what happens. Let me see.
Damn.
Oh,
Booyah. That fool's back in action, G. Webcam.
Let's turn it this way.
You comparing Jake Paul to heavyweight power, not the same. Joshua wins. That's pretty valid. Shout out to Landslide. Blurred says Paul got a chance with this momentum. Look. To me, Jake Paul is a great business person at this junction. He's defied all the odds. He's put a couple of boxers in a good position. Shout out to Amanda Serrano. She got blessed. Thank God.
For sure.
Him as a boxer. When he fought the Fury, what's the younger Fury?
Tommy Fury?
Excuse me. Yeah, when he fought Tommy gave him the business. And Tommy's trash, respectfully. He's also a damn. Is he a... Was that his first pro fight, or was that like his second pro fight or some shit?
Nah, it was probably like his fifth or sixth pro fight, something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
You would just assume he had an amateur career, though. Still fought like shit. We see better fights at the 360 shit than that. It's just crazy as hell.
Facts. No, facts.
But Jake Paul, if he lands, he might have some power. I mean, does he have the same power that Andy Ruiz had when he caught him? I don't know about that. But we do know Joshua will go down if he gets caught.
Yeah, if he gets caught with a good punch, he's gonna get wobbled at for sure.
But I don't think Jake Paul's ever been hit by anybody with the knockout power of Anthony Joshua, because that fool does have the sleeper in his hand for sure.
He does, and then the thing too is like he can box. Like he uses his range very well. He uses his jab. Like I'm not gonna get into all that. Everybody, if you know, you're right. But like he he's technically sound especially for a big man, like for a heavyweight. He moves really well. He can fucking box, dude. So it's like, so it's just, I don't know. It's interesting though, right? Like I said, the aura around Jake Paul, everybody wants to see him lose. So if that fight happens, there's two things. Yes, that Jake Paul could win, and then the world goes crazy. The second thing for me is like if Joshua's gonna make that fight, I think he's gonna be like he's gonna be done because there's already in talks. Hopefully that there are talks right now that Fury and Joshua are planning on fighting, so that's gonna happen soon.
I really wish that fight would have took place while they had their belts, because now it's just kind of like they're just fighting for fun. For sure, they're gonna get a bag, and I respect them getting a bag, but
it makes sense too because both of them are coming off losses.
Has Usyk fought Joshua? No, right?
Yes, that's how Usyk got the belts.
No, Usyk got the belts from Fury.
No, he got them from Joshua, and
oh, you're right.
Fury only had one belt.
You're right. So who beat up Anthony Joshua when he got knocked out this last time?
Daniel Dubois. That's who Josh Parker was supposed to fight, but Dubois was sick. Yeah.
Yeah. He ate the same shit old boy ate. What's the
yeah. What's his name? Schofield.
Damn.
Floyd.
I don't know then, fool. I'm just sad to see Fury get rocked anymore. I before that fool tapped out over his cocaine abuse or whatever, that fool was the man, fool.
He still was the man when he came back. He fucking
came
back
with the Wilder fights, those were fire too.
That fool was Undertaker, dog, in the first fight. So he's only lost to one man. He's only lost. He has two losses, but they both been from Usyk. He's only lost to one man. That's it.
Blurred said Paul's gonna win. It's a real opponent. No. Do you think Jake Paul could beat Anthony Joshua? Like for reals?
For real? Dude, in my heart, no.
Yeah.
Like in my heart, no. Like no. But like I said, I always try to play like the devil's advocate. Like you give Paul's been working, and you want to pull out that fight from when he fought Tommy Fury, but how many years ago was that? So and he's constantly training. He's not like these other guys.
I feel like it was last year, but it's been a minute.
But Jake Paul has real money. He's able to train every fucking day like a real fighter.
He meant regardless Paul wins because he's fighting someone that's a respectable opponent. My bad. Fool.
Oh.
I thought you meant, yeah. Because right now, Bird said, I didn't say he would win. And when he phrased it that way, I was like, oh, I understand. He wins because even if he loses, he wins out of the sake of that taking place.
If Jake Paul gets that fight and he doesn't get knocked out and he goes the distance,
that's crazy.
That's a fucking victory right there. He's gonna go on his Edgar Berlanga victory tour and shit, and like celebrate that he went 12 rounds. So. Yeah. No, we feel you, bro. We feel you.
Is that a 12-round fight? Has he even fought 12-round fights?
No.
Yeah, because Joshua was prepared to go 12 rounds. I mean, will he? Does he have the gas? I don't know, but he's at that status where he's training for 12 rounds, you know what I'm saying?
The people that he's calling out, Jake Paul, those have to be 12 rounds. You're not going to negotiate and do a 10-round fight or an 8-round fight with freaking Canelo or Anthony Joshua. These fools are champions. You're going 12 rounds. It's going to be a real boxing match, 12 rounds.
Nah, I feel it.
Damn. So that's the thing.
Let's look at the clip. We haven't even pulled up the damn clip yet. Let's see what the clip is talking about. It's from, shout out to the Bread Batch. This was definitely a Jake Paul fan because he has a gang of Jake Paul content. It says, Jake Paul sent me a list of desired fights for 2025 and 2026 on February 10th. 3 days after the Canelo matchup all fell apart. On that list were 6 fighters. One of them was Anthony Joshua. I called to make sure he was serious, and unequivocally he was and is. 2026. Let me pull up the next slide, which is him talking for 5 minutes to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua also screenshotted it and posted it. Big one, eh? People think I'm joking. You will... Damn. Okay, so they're definitely playing into it real quick. Let me see the next slide real quick. The next slide is
Anthony Joshua
Jake Paul.
exclusive because I know that I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass. I know
he
I
just
will
got
beat.
knocked out, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends. All this shit, but I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of fucking people. I will not beat David
It's not
Benavidez. I want to fight Anthony.
So right there in that clip, which I'm sure, like I said, I know the setup is messed up and you can't see the clip. I don't even know if you can hear it well, but damn. Dang, this fool Kimo Savi says, Eyekon, you're not about this boxing life, buckaroo. Fuck you, homie. So look, this fool fucked me up with that comment. What a jerk. That fool said he thinks he'll beat Canelo. Well, he said, I'll beat Canelo. And I did it. He said all kinds of shit, but he is very sure that he thinks he could beat Anthony Joshua.
And I'm gonna say this, as he should be, right? If you're stepping
I feel you.
into this boxing world and you're gonna step into the ring and you're gonna fight, you're gonna go blow for blow, you're gonna go out there and try to punch somebody in the fucking head and knock them out, and they're gonna do the same to you. You have to have that type of confidence.
I respect it.
Do not get into boxing or any combat sports if you don't have that type of confidence. Because if you don't have that confidence, you get in the ring, you're getting laid out. You
That's
already
valid.
lost the fight. You already lost the fucking fight. So I respect it because of you have to have that type of confidence. We're in combat sports. So you're gonna go in there. You feel like you're gonna take out everybody. So the way he feels is valid because that's the way you should feel. Is it in reality when you step into the ring with the Canelo or with the freaking Anthony Joshua? Do I see that happening? No, of course not. Like you got these guys been boxing all their lives, have how many years of experience in the ring? There's tricks in the trade to all this shit. So it's a sweet science for a reason. It's a game of inches for a reason. If you're looking at a fight and you feel like, oh, look at what he's doing, I can counter that move. Yeah, but in that fight, he's probably doing that for a reason. He's giving his opponents looks for a reason to counter them. So what you might see and when you get in the ring, it's two completely different things. Each fight's going to be completely different.
No, yeah, absolutely. What other fights are you looking for ahead? I don't even want to keep talking about Jake Paul and fucking Anthony Joshua because this fool Jake Paul's calling out. Let me see here. Let's just go look real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up the thing, and I'll tell you just very briefly off the rip all the people this fool's calling out. Let's see, Jake Paul. Well, the Pauls. I don't know if this is a Jake Paul page or what, but Jake Paul is expected to announce a mega summer pay-per-view. Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate. Jake Paul. Usyk really wants an MMA fight against Jake Paul. What other Jake Paul nonsense do they have on this page?
Supposedly Jake Paul's gonna make his first MMA appearance for the PFL soon or something like that. That's supposed to be
Jake
announced.
Paul's getting engaged. So the page you sent me is definitely a Jake Paul loving ass page, but I'm not mad at it either. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So
Make your money.
yeah, I'm definitely not mad at it whatsoever. But
Blurred said Ryan versus Rolly.
Ryan versus Rolly. I think so. Look, me and this fool did a commentary, basically a reaction video to them sparring, and here's what we concluded, which is basically, or what was your analysis? And then I'll give mine. What's your analysis of that sparring match that we saw between
A sparring match?
Rolando Romero versus Ryan Garcia?
First of all, I feel in that instance, if we're judging it, I'm judging it as a fight commentating. Rolly won that fight just because of that. He's just more active in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
The more slick boxing, the counters were leaning towards Ryan, and given the fact they're super young at that time, so they fight completely different than they did now. Ryan has a lot more confidence. You can see it in himself. I don't feel like Ryan had a lot of confidence at that time, and he was just and. I don't know. I want to know the context of that. Was it just sparring, just to spar? Were they
working on something?
Match?
Exactly.
Yeah. So was he working on a certain thing? Was Ryan working on his counters? Is that why he wasn't aggressive in there? So like, there's certain things that the context to that was. But yeah, Rolly won just because he was more active, more aggressive. Ryan was blocking a lot of stuff. But that's pretty much my analysis. I don't see that fight going the way that sparring match makes sense. I don't see that happening.
I think I see it going similar in the sense that Rolly's gonna be moving forward, trying to be aggressive
Okay.
and rough him up. But I
Yeah.
see Ryan being just way more accurate and way more deadly with the counters. That's what,
He's good. He's
because
gonna use his speed.
in that sparring match, which I think we really need to revisit.
Yeah.
That fool Rolly was just like you said. He did win because he was moving forward more and was more active. But ultimately, he
He was super flat-footed in that fight. That's what I
was
remember
that
most.
6 rounds. You're out here. All right. Was that 6 rounds or was that 4 rounds? I think it
Yeah,
was a sixer.
it was.
Yep.
I think it was 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah, dog. I don't know. I think Ryan's gonna win for certain, and it's for sure
see.
gonna be off of a hook. That's my thoughts. Rolly would take that fight because he's a bit smaller and can move fast. Chemo.
Crazy.
Damn, you're a down ass fool to say that, big dog.
if Ryan, it's not if Ryan touches him, it's when Ryan touches him, because he's gonna land the shot. Like everybody knows what's coming from Ryan, but he's still land because he's so fast.
Facts.
It's gonna land. So if Pitbull hurt Rolly, if Ryan touches Rolly, he's going down. Like he's going down. He's not gonna stay up on his feet like he did with Pitbull. If Ryan touches him, he's going down.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Rolando has enough power to put down Ryan?
If he lands, he has the power. He had to hurt him. We've seen Ryan's been dropped twice. The body shot from Tank, and then when he fought old boy from Europe, what is his name? I forget his name, but he caught him with the overhand right and put Ryan down. Ryan got back up, but
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's when he
Yeah,
fell
I
on his
forget his name.
ass.
Yeah. I forget his name. It's somebody in the chat. What's his name?
But yeah,
forget.
Rolly got
Yeah, so-
outboxed. Nah, yeah. I think fighting Tank is a. I don't even want to talk about Tank and Roach anymore. That was a stupid ass fight. I'm telling you, Rolly can connect, but Ryan got the power. The power left. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could all agree that this fool Rolando got power, but realistically speaking, that fool's a sloppy boxer to me.
Yeah.
Is that a safe?
He has the less. No, it's a safe analysis. He even says it too. Like he hasn't been boxing as long as these guys. He doesn't have the amateur pedigree as most of these guys. He started boxing late, so he's still learning. But he has power, so that's
he has made a name for himself, so he can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying?
no. He always finds himself in big fights. Rolly knows how to put himself in big fights. So
Bear with me. I'm gonna go over here to Ring Magazine, the #1 source for fucking boxing news.
and casual experts number 2.
Haha. Just real quick to see what these fools are talking about. Boots, nah. Wardley versus Miller, nah.
nah.
Fill out the Ring Magazine survey for free tickets to Eubank versus Ben. I don't know much about Ben, and I don't know too much about Eubank. I don't know anything about Ben, but I know not enough to. Do you know what you think about Eubank Jr. versus Ben?
I honestly I've never seen none of them fight, but I've been hearing their names for a long time because this fight I've been hearing these two names been wanting to fight for a long time. They've been trying to make this fight, but I forget which one of them popped for PEDs. I think
What?
it's one of them popped for PEDs. That's why they're suspended for a lot. I think it's Conor Ben. I think Conor Ben had popped, and that's why that's why Eubank when they did a face fight, Eubank had cracked them with the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? Because he said that was Conor Ben's excuse when he popped. He said that he ate tainted eggs, and so that's why he popped for PED. So that's why. But that's pretty much all I know. But I want to watch it just because of all that shit. And their name's been circulating. I think Eubank. There was talks of Eubank fighting Canelo at one point. So it's just there's names been in the media for a while circulating. So I don't know. I'll probably end up watching that fight.
On a completely separate note, just because I saw the post and it's a good point, it's a good talking point, good for engagement and stuff like that. What is the biggest fight that can currently be made in boxing? Name your top 5 biggest fights that could happen right now.
Top 5 biggest fights that can happen.
Yes.
Ooh.
Would you like me to go
Okay,
first,
Yeah,
or
go ahead.
go ahead?
No, go ahead. Go
Um,
ahead. You go.
I think obviously the biggest draws are gonna be two fights. I'm gonna give you five, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the first two that come to mind are probably Canelo versus Crawford,
Hmm.
right? If that actually
Yeah.
happens in real life, that's gonna be freaking crazy.
Supposedly
And
set for September, but
yeah, allegedly, right? And
hmm
then Canelo Benavides. Those would be the biggest draws. Another nasty fight. I think that would go crazy. Realistically speaking, would be like a Tank and Ryan 2, or a Tank and maybe you know what? Maybe a Ryan versus Pitbull would go super crazy. That's four, huh? What do I got last?
yeah.
Uh, mm, I don't think Orion versus Haney 2 is gonna make a big difference because that fool got worked too nasty.
Yeah, but I still see that fight selling just because people are gonna want to see Ryan beat the shit out of Haney again.
What about like a Tank or a Ryan versus a Teofimo?
Um, it depends the type of performance Teofimo puts on May.
But I just but I just mean
if
like
he
just in general, like just
just in
saying
general,
that card was gonna not based on what's actually happening, but like just
okay.
in general, I think those would be the biggest fights. Who do you got?
I don't see Teofimo and maybe if he was doing Teofimo and Tank, I think that will go more than Teofimo and Ryan. I don't know. I don't think Teofimo has that type of pull. Um, so of course, Tank and Ryan rematch number two. That fight goes crazy. That's a big fight. Canelo Benavides, of course, that one. And then as a fan, it's kind of not realistic at the moment right now, but I would want to see Bam and Inoue.
Ooh, I think Inoue is
No, yeah,
too
it's too high.
in
Yeah,
weight. Yeah.
yeah.
It would
I
not
know,
make
but
sense for
no,
Bam to
not right
go
now.
up because he's gonna lose knockout power, and Inoue coming down is gonna retain that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, but I would. That's a fight I would like as a fan. Like
When I
if that ever
interviewed him, I
happens,
asked him if that would ever happen, and he'd be like, "It'd
yeah,
have to be a long time from now because of the
no,
weight shit."
no, yeah. He has to gradually move up. He's not gonna try to bust a Crawford and move up two weight classes
Mm-hmm.
like out of the blue. But like as a fan, I think that there's smaller weight classes, but as a fan, I think that fight makes a lot of noise if it does happen. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. Maybe like I say with maybe 4 years from now,
If it happens,
if it happens. But
yeah.
even if Bam fight, even like a Nakatani, like Juno Nakatani, which is like somebody, but it just doesn't have the name as an Inoue. But right now, Bam's my favorite fighter. Like if Bam was fighting at 154 or 147, like somewhere around, or even in the 140s, like somewhere, uh, that fool would be a superstar. Like
That'd be
he'd be
crazy.
bigger. He would be bigger than all these fools because the way he fights.
Hmm.
That fool is a Mexican Manny Pacquiao.
I respect it. Damn.
I don't know how I segue in there because you took all the big fights, so I had to segue and try to talk about some because there's not that many super big fights that would like happen right now. Jake Paul and Canelo would be a big ass fight just because of like
Yeah.
you're talking about it's
Just out of the
strictly numbers, just strictly numbers. That
yeah,
would be
yeah,
a big
yeah.
fight.
That
Yeah,
could actually
but
kind of happen. Kind of.
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe after he's done with Turkey and he's retired, they do a
Exhibition.
exhibition fight. Yeah, but
Paul would probably
if you
get
just
hurt.
yeah. hmm But if
Fuck
you
it.
it just off of straight numbers, then yeah. But besides that, like big numbers, just anything Canelo's in Canelo Benavides, Canelo Crawford, those are gonna do big numbers, and then anything Ryan and Tank, those are big numbers. If Tank's fighting a Devin Haney, maybe it does some type of numbers, but I don't see it doing something big. It has to be like two big names, or like a Benavides and Canelo. It's just a lot of buildup behind that. Or if you're stacking a card, like you're like May 2nd, if you're stacking a card like that, it's gonna do big numbers.
Nah, I feel it. Well, shit, brother. I don't know. I don't got anything else for you today. I'm excited to see what happens with Emiliano next month. Is it next
Yeah.
month? Next month he has a fight in San Diego. With Raymond Murataya and some other people. I'm trying to pull up to that. I'm gonna see if we could get us tickets. If not, I'm going, even if I have to pay.
Next weekend, what day? The Saturday?
No, it's not this week. It's next month.
Oh, next month. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with like oh, I forgot his name right now.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with
Damn.
that Fuji.
I forgot his name. Mason. What's the kid's name? Abdullah Mason.
Abdullah Mason, no, but I know that he took that W and he thinks, respectfully, he thinks he's gonna be the face of boxing. I respect that.
Watch a couple of that. He's out of like all like the prospects that I've like come out Morton and Abdullah Mason and Emiliano Vargas, like all these like young kids. I don't know. I see him edging everybody out a little bit.
Everybody?
That's just yeah. Out of all the young crop, like these young guys coming up.
Nah, I feel it. He definitely did a doctor stoppage on that fool Ornelas this
He's
past
fast too.
Saturday.
He's fast. He's fast. He got good footwork. He got power. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I feel it. I respect it.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you bring up Abdullah Mason because I said Emiliano Vargas and they got a little thing right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a good fight though. I don't know if it happens right now. Maybe in like the next year or two. But who knows if that fight does happen? It's going to be a very interesting fight because I think Vargas. I like him too. He got power. He's fat. He got good
Emiliano
footwork.
is a bad fool.
Yeah.
We shall see. Anything else you want to leave the people with before we clock out today, my G?
No. Just fucking go subscribe to the Casual Experts channel on YouTube. Get that up.
Yeah, please do that. It'd be highly appreciated. Shout out to you, my brother. I'll call you right now when we hang up off of this shit. All right, shout out to everyone back at home. You know what it is. Highly appreciate you who's tapping into the boxing news. Every Monday morning, we will be doing boxing news. So stay tuned for that, buckaroos. Shout out to everyone that shout out to Blurred, shout out to Chemo, shout out to Adrian, shout out to everyone that was in here. I can't remember. Shout out to my boy Tusty and T. Shout out to Adrian, shout out to